It's a Catlett.
Wagwan, my boy.
Wagwan, brethren.
How
are you?
I'm good, man. I'm on location, so I took a minute to go ahead and chop it up with you all. How you feeling?
Perfect. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for taking the time out. I'm doing all right. This weather is a little off and on. Where you at?
I'm in Atlanta right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
The weather's a little better. Not too bad.
Yeah, where you at?
I'm in New York.
Oh, okay, New York.
Yeah, so it's
I love New York. You said it with your chest too. I'm in New
York.
With
my chest, yeah. Look, you have to. You can't. Gotta do it. You have to.
Yeah.
Perfect. But let's dive right into this because I know you got things to do, and we definitely want to get this conversation going. But again, everybody, thank you guys for tuning in. Having one of our conversations, we always have these amazing conversations, and now we have actor Will Catlett. And again, I've been a fan for some time. Definitely appreciate you. Love the work that you do. Love the characters that you play. Super awesome. But first and foremost, just how was everything with like the family and quarantine and stuff? Everyone's doing well?
Yeah, everybody good, man. I got a chance to spend a lot of time, with my students in the Catlett Academy, doing quarantine. I got a lot of time to spend with my wife and the baby, got to see my baby take her first steps, now she's running, so I took advantage of that time, man. I think anytime you get time to like relax, you should take that time to yourself and not look at the pandemic as a place of chaos in the mind, but as a place of opportunity
and that peace that we don't really get, at least for the beginning, before everybody, situations kind of got a little crazy, but just that peace of mind of not having to go somewhere and just that relaxing piece of it. So I definitely agree. And you just had a birthday a couple of days ago. Happy belated birthday,
oh,
sir.
Man, thank you. The brother getting more wiser with time,
More wiser time. That's it. We all want to be older, grow to be older. Trust me, that is the life, that is the goal. So definitely awesome. But again, I was telling everyone I would say this, and I know you've done other stuff, but I really fell in love with your characters when you were on Love Is, and that was such a great role, as I really like the idea of the Black man having vulnerability and feeling emotional and being able to speak to that type of side of a Black man that's not always portrayed. But I definitely wanted to ask that real quick before anything else is, how did you feel about that particular character?
Oh, playing Yasir, certain characters you play, they never leave you.
Right.
You know what I mean? And, working with Salim, who's the character's based off of, to feel his energy, to hug on him, all that helped morph into Yasir, and then adding my own flavor to it as well from watching him, but trying to keep it as close to him as possible. I think what connected people so much, one, it was a real story, and it's still a story that is continuing. And also, it was nostalgic, took us back to the 90s, where you didn't have the apps where you could holler at a chick or slide in the DMs. You know what I mean? You had to send a note, or you had to just walk up on somebody and say, hey, listen, I'm feeling you, was good. You had to have more confidence, you know what I mean? And then also playing Yasir, I think it spoke to a lot of the men, because so many times in life, women and men, we're looking for ready-made people. What do I mean by that? People that got it already together. And a lot of times you're not going to find that, and Yasir's at a place in his life at that time where he is looking for an opportunity. He may be struggling, but his mind is still sharp. His mind is still fruitful. And I wanted to make sure that carried over. And so that men that are out there that want to be better, and women, and they may not have it all together yet, to not stop you from moving forward because you don't have it all together. And Nuri saw that, which was great.
Yeah, Nuri, you guys' relationship was great. And I think also, it was also kind of like you know, the gender role idea that's kind of having a lot more conversations now, whereas women are, you know, got their stuff together and feeling very empowered to do things, but then, you know, trying to find, you know, certain women looking for a man that's like on a level, you know, and if they're not on that level, oh, I can't do this. This person's not good enough. So it's definitely great conversations that happen with that show for sure.
Oh yeah, and that's true too. That's even like today, you know, like say for instance, you know, I'm married, right? So I don't care about my wife making more money than me. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter to me because we know the position in the household. You know, if you know what I'm saying, I'm under the father, she's under me. That doesn't make her less than. That's just the order. That is the submission part. And so many times we don't want to be in a submissive state. The man is in a submissive state too because he's submitted to Christ and the woman submitted to the man. The problem is so many men have taken advantage of women. So now the woman is like, I'm not going to be submissive. I'm going to do my own thing because her natural state is want to follow a man. But I always tell women, if the man does not have a vision, that is not the man that you should be following. Because where is he going to lead you to? And you have no nothing to multiply. If I give a woman a house, she give me a home. I give her a loaf of bread, she give me a sandwich. I give her hell. If I give her anger, she give me hell. Women multiply everything, and they're looking to do that, but we just have to be wise on our partners that we're choosing.
No, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, I know we went somewhere, but I felt like we needed to go to that.
No, and I'm gonna
you
go
know what I'm
with
saying?
you just a little bit there. I'm gonna keep it going. What do you think is? How do you think social media has impacted that particular dynamic of that that level of submissiveness and you know, people trying to figure out within their household?
Well, I think you got to figure out within yourself. You know what I mean? If you get folks sliding in your DM, not saying that you can't slide in somebody DM and that end up being married. You know what I'm saying? People meet all kind of ways. You know, we're not going to say that it's the archaic way that we got to continue to meet people, but you got to ask the right questions to yourself first. Why do you want to be married? What do you have to give? Are you working on yourself? Have you been working on your insecurities? Are you still kissing the new person that you're kissing now based off the person that you kissed that you was just with? Meaning, are you still in the past? Have you came to the present yet? Have you forgiven yourself? All these things have to be worked out or in the realm of working it out before you decide to bring yourself to somebody. You know, when I was in a relationship and I knew that I couldn't jump right back into another relationship before I met my wife because I needed time to heal. Sometimes a man don't know that you're going through a broken heart. You don't know, you know, until you sit down with yourself and say, man, I'm really hurt, and give yourself the liberty and the freedom to say that I am hurt. See, men grow up saying, don't cry, but that's the wrong thing that you can tell a young man because your tear ducts are there for you to release that emotion. You know what I mean? Because if you don't release that emotion come out in the form of a bullet or in the form of a fight or in the form of being disrespectful to women, or more importantly, being disrespectful to yourself. So it all goes together. So you got to take that time to sit with yourself.
And even leading into this, you talk about the emotions, and I'm kind of dealing with that. I want to ask you a question about your character that you played on HBO's Lovecraft Country, and the fact that you were a father to a queer son, and then how that generationally had an impact on then how he raised his son and the feelings and those things that he dealt with. Why do you think that particular example or description of a relationship between a father and son was so important?
Well, I think, you know, they was trying to show, you know, how people become and how they still are living in the trauma of their past, you know, so they have to go back to the past in order to heal. You have to acknowledge your past, you know, and at that time, men, they already got it hard, you know what I'm saying, on, you know, with the racism. And so, you know, Verton, he can't understand, you know, that your son who came from you wants to choose a different path in a different way. So in him, he's thinking this is the way I show love.
Right.
But in return, you're stifling this young man because them urges are there. You're going to feel them. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, but at that time, men didn't sit down and talk.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Why do you feel this way? Well, what happened? So we don't even know the backstory, you know, to see if maybe Montrose was getting molested. You don't know.
Yeah.
You don't know why he chose this path, or this was what he was just attracted to. So I liked it because, you know, I'm talking about the episode as a whole, because it went back to the past in order to try to save the future. You know, so that whole Sankofa, you gotta look back. You know what I mean? Yep. So yeah, but you know, playing those roles, I never judged my characters. I just dived right into it. Yeah. And I understood what Verton was trying to communicate. You know, just like when a father saying, "Hey, don't cry. Men don't cry." He's trying to build your strength, but at the same time, you're killing a side of his sensitivity. Right. You know what I mean? So as we go through years of thinking about, man, I ain't gonna cry, I ain't gonna cry, I ain't gonna cry. And then to that moment that you release all those tears and you realize, wow, I needed that. I remember my black study teacher telling me this. She said, she would tell women, if you meet a man that hasn't cried in 12 years, he's a ticking time bomb ready to explode. Wow. Because there's so much built up. So I encourage even myself. There's times when I'm in here in my room, I just cry. Not that I'm sad, but whatever I'm dealing with, I just need to release it. You know, so give yourself the liberty to release that. That's what I loved about the episode too, because you see Montrose, he's releasing what he's been through. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so. That's awesome. It gives Tick that understanding that, wow, now I understand why he was beating me.
The way he was, yeah.
The way he was. So now there's a moment of forgiveness. Right. You know, because I can't give you what I don't have. I'm only giving you what I experienced. That's why, like, say, for instance, a man or a woman who didn't grow up with their father, I would suggest get a good mentor so that you can know how to treat a man, because you won't know. Right. You know what I mean? Or talk to one of your uncles, you know, somebody, so you will know. You know, so those things that we have to do, you know, that's self-help.
Yeah. And I mean, even, you know, to the point of just fathers in general, Black fathers specifically, is also showing that love and showing love a different way that you may not have received. And to your point is understanding that by talking to people, seeing how people, I do feel like we're moving in a space where men are starting to be more comfortable, but you know, you always hear conversations like, you know, a lot of fathers stop being kind of emotional and coddling their kids, their sons more times over not. After 7 years old, you know, they don't tell them I love you, or don't kiss them, or whatever the case may be that shows affection and emotion, and it could be a little dangerous, you know. As people,
but I think if you look back, you'll figure out that their fathers didn't do it. Right. So really, they don't know how. You know what I mean? So we have to allow ourselves to set our family free, and our fathers free, and our parents free. Because as you know, they're usually your parents from when you're born to about 25. By 25, they become more of your peers. So you have to give yourself the liberty to have those conversations and say, well, what was your childhood like? You know, I had to ask my dad and my mom that. So then when I would ask them those questions, oh, this is why my mom called me 5 times a day to this day. This is why she said, don't go around the corner to this day. Oh, well, she was raped at 16. Wow. You know, she went out on a date at 28 and was raped in the back of a van. So she's like, I'm worried about you. Right. I'm saying in myself, come on, Mom, like, Dad, you know, I'm just going around the corner. Right. I'm not understanding what Mom been through. But when we had the conversation, I remember having this conversation with my mom. I said, it just hit me. I said, Mom, were you ever raped? She said, why you ask me that? I said, I don't know. I feel in my spirit that I'm supposed to ask you. She said, yeah, it happened at this age. It happened at that. And I'm like, oh, wow. Now I understand. So your love is don't go around the corner. Be careful. Watch your back. You know, be on your P's and Q's. I understand. You know what I'm saying? So we have to give ourselves the liberty to forgive ourselves and forgive our parents. Yeah. And also, and I think one of the biggest issues that children have is realizing that
your parents were adults or had lives before they were parents.
Yes.
And
brother.
they don't, and we don't get it. We don't think about it. But it's like the same things you doing, they were trying to figure it out too, especially if they're a young parent. It's even worse. Not being able to do certain things or understanding how things are working, you know?
For sure.
So awesome. So there has really been an emergence of the Black male lead that we've been seeing. And I've been so grateful for it. I know a lot of people have been able to see it. And of course, you know, diversity and minorities being put in front of TV and film. But I want to know from you, what are some similarities that you would kind of see in this new class of may it be opportunities or may it be the actual actors, the Black male actors, as they're starting to cross these thresholds?
You know, I would hope and pray that we would get to a point where it's not, you know, Black male leads. Yeah. Where it's just leads.
Just leads. Yep.
You don't have these conversations with our Caucasian brothers. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And I get it and I understand it, but I think we also have to stop perpetuating the narrative. You know, when you see me, you see an artist. You know, whatever role that I'm playing, that's what I echo in myself. I know that I'm Black. I love being Black. You know what I'm saying? Couldn't imagine being no other thing than Black. But I don't need to be reminded every day of Black excellence as if we've never been excellent. We've always been excellent. You know what I'm saying? So I think for us, we have to change that narrative, even with diversity. You know, when I have conversations with people about diversity, but why are we still talking about diversity? The world is diverse. So as artists, we should reflect the world. Now, that doesn't mean that we can't push. That doesn't mean that we don't need to step up and fight for the things that we need to fight for, but also have that, you know, in the foresight of your mind as well. Like, let's get, you know, the Oscars are so white. You know, I'm sick of it. You know what I mean? I want to see us when we stand up there. We stand up there because we was the best in that role at that particular time, not because you're giving me something because of the color of my skin. You know, now, you know, Black is in right now. You know what I'm saying? At the same time too. So you know, but get your opportunities, get your money, Black man, get your money. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that take advantage of the opportunities that come to you. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, how can we have a conversation on a higher level? That's basically what I'm saying.
Right. Yeah. No, perfect. So we actually interviewed Jahi Winston from Charge City Kings. I saw the film. It was amazing. Actually out right now on HBO Max. I want to know, what was it like filming that?
Well, working with the most brilliant actor in the world and Jaheed was, you know, I don't know what to say, because that young man is something else, you know. But I always remember the bond that we built. You know, one thing about me is that I can see when somebody, you know, is maybe going through something, you know, and they can see maybe when I'm going through something. So my intention was to build a true relationship with Jaheed. If I did that, it was going to already be a relationship between Mouse and Rivers. You know, and to this day, me and Jaheed and his mama, we like this. You know what I'm saying? We always talking, we always support each other. And I'm so proud of him, of how such a young man with all that talent can carry that whole film like that. You know, he just did an incredible job. So that's what I took away from I actually gained, you know, not only a mentee, I gained a friend. You know what I'm saying? I got better as an artist, working with other artists that was on the show. The kids were so great. You know what I mean? Tiana was amazing. Meek was amazing. It had such a good group of people, even the ones that were from Baltimore as well. The Chinos, the Queens, the Marvins. You know, everybody played their part. And it's such a special piece to be a part of.
Awesome. So your character in the film, you know, is a police officer, but has taken a liking to Mouse, Jahi, played by Jahi. And the way your character was in the film is how I wish the relationship, there was more relationships between police and their community. And I want to know, how can the police and the community foster relationships like that, in your opinion?
In my opinion, man, you know, we have to, the people who are in charge, meaning like, you know, say for instance, the folks who got money to make situations happen, that's, you know, for us, we need to be donating to the police force. We need to get in that game. You know what I'm saying? Because when you put money in people's pockets, it changes the conversation. You know what I'm saying? So that's number one that I think that we need to do in our communities, so that we can have more town hall meetings, and we're actually having a voice, not only at the police station, but also in the pockets of the police station too. You know what I'm saying? So I believe that helps. Also, I want cops to watch that film, you know, because sometimes you put on that uniform and you forget that it's about protect and serve. It's about mentorship. It's about thinking about, man, should I take this kid down to the station, or should I pull him to the side and say, man, what do you want to do with your life? Maybe we can ask more questions, because when I look at one of the police officers, I cannot remember his name, but when I'm growing up in Delray, Virginia, my older sister, bless her heart, she went on to be with the Father, but she was on drugs all her life. And I remember the officer would come and knock on our door and tell my mom, hey, we getting ready to take Kim down to the station, or we gonna bring Kim back right here. I'm gonna drive around the block. I'm gonna bring her back right here, because y'all know what she going through. Mentorship. And sometimes he had to lock her up, and she be in jail 8 months or a year. You know what I'm saying? But the fact that he was willing to come to the house and knock on the door, and I'm seeing that as a young man, and I'm like, ooh, I want to be like that. That's how you do it. That's a leader. That's a mentor. You know, so I wanted that to come across in the film, but without trying. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to try to let that be the main focus. The main focus is Mouse, but I wanted cops to see and be like, oh man, you know, I want to be like Rivers. Let me take on that Rivers. Let that seed of Rivers be planted in me. So the next time I pull over a young man, that I can maybe ask a few questions first, because you don't know what he's going through at home. You know, and Rivers sees that in Mouse. I see what you're trying to do. The lights ain't on. Your dad ain't around. You out here trying to get it. And I understand. But let me tell you, you trying to get it, it's going to get you behind them bars. But you over here trying to be a veterinarian, it's going to actually help you in the long run. You know, so that was my hope, and I'm glad that came across.
No, it definitely did. And it's so interesting, because in the beginning, I'm like, is this an uncle? Is this a cousin? Like, why is that relationship between him and the police officer? Like, why is it so, you know, mentorish for him? That's not the norm. That's not what we see. So being able to see that, it came out really well.
Yeah, and then, you know, there's a lot of cops, like the one I mentioned, that are doing it. You know what I'm saying? But then, like I said, when I'm talking about donate to the police station, not just giving money, we need therapists. Because they put on that uniform, you don't know what they dealing with at home. You know, if you on the beat, your wife cheating on you, you mad. So you take it out on somebody that you pull over. You know, so the police officers need therapy too. You know, why are you doing this? Why do you want to do it? Why will you feel when you put on that uniform that you have to put somebody in their place? You know, so it's not a quick fix, in my opinion. You know what I mean? There's a couple things that we're going to have to do in order to get to that place. But also, we got to make sure that we protecting and put money in our own communities as well. You know, I don't need to be a police officer in my community to protect and serve my people. You know what I'm saying? You know, that's like back in the day, you knock on your neighbor's door to get a couple eggs or some sugar. You know, we kind of lost all that. You know what I'm saying? So we need to get back to that even in our own community.
I agree. So I know you have to go. My last question for you is, what you got coming up next? I feel like it's just hit, which is amazing. So anything we should be looking forward to?
Man, you know, I'm living my life, brother love. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm letting it flow as it flow. You know what I mean? I'm excited for the next thing. You know what I'm saying? You know, God has really smiled upon me to do 2 movies and to do Lovecraft, and always to be a part of amazing projects. You know, I'm excited for, you know, the young folks that are in my academy, you know what I'm saying? To, you know, I'm getting text messages and stuff that they're booking and they're taking off, you know. I'm excited for that. And I'm excited for my glow up too, you know. I'm excited to win those Oscars and those, you know, like I'm about to say Emmys and Grammys. I need all that, you know what I'm saying?
All of them.
I need the EGOT too. And I'm excited, man. I'm excited for what God has in store. You know, I'm excited on what's the next thing that I'm supposed to do. You know, one thing I pray is, Lord, send me on my assignment. Yeah, I don't look at these roles as just, you know, acting opportunities. These are assignments that I can, you know, minister in some type of way. You know, you know, some people may not meet Christ on the pulpit. They might meet Christ in rivers. You know what I'm saying? Which is righteousness. You know what I mean? So, you know, and then the opportunity to play all kind of roles, risque roles, all kind. Like, I want to do it all. If you're going to do it, do it.
Do it.
Go all the way head first in and do it. And, you know, that's what I'm looking forward to. So I'm excited, you know, who has my name already on their mind and on their script. You know what I'm saying? And I look forward to doing it soon.
Perfect. Well, thank you again for tuning in and giving us some time to have this great conversation. Always dropping gems. Always.
Listen. I just want to bless the people before I go.
Please do.
Father, what you have put on me, oh Lord, I ask that you put on your children, Lord. I ask, Father God, that whatever was blocking them, oh Lord, that you will remove it, Lord, so that they can be the best, God, that they were supposed and destined to be, Father. Whoever's been sitting on their dream and feeling like they're not good enough, oh Lord, I pray, God, that you will put a fire in their belly, oh God, because their voice matters, oh Lord. Let their light shine, oh God, all across this world. May everyone that watched this, Father God, may a special favor come upon them. In Jesus' name, amen. Thank you, brother. I have a thing that I do. Everybody that kind of blesses me to come on a live, please send me your Cash App. This is what I do. This is my seed, because you decided for me to come on here, and it's such a blessing. So I want to sow into, you know, y'all to keep doing what y'all doing. So just DM me. Don't say no. Just let me do me. You know what I'm saying? So that I can just keep that going. You know what I mean? Because, you know, you were giving me a platform to speak and to encourage people, and I don't take that for granted.
Of course, and we appreciate you so much for just continuing to do what you do, and letting us see, for me specifically, representation and hey, someone to look up to, man. I appreciate it so much.
Oh man, bless you, brother. Get that jacket, because it's about to get cold in New York.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right, man. Love
Thank
y'all.
you so much, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see y'all later. Bye.